to the Dean Vaughn Music Podcast Show, broadcasting live from the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Isaac will take us through his musical journey from his first release to his latest single, May. That dropped this November. Plus, we'll get the inside scoop on the upcoming self-titled album from his band set to release in 2026. It's a rock metal experience you don't want to miss. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And here's your chance to win a free music collectible podcast mug. Be the first caller in during the live show. Join us for this exclusive interview. Welcome to the Dean Vaughn Music Podcast Show. How's it going, guys?
Hey, doing well, glad to be here.
We got Isaac Krapf with us tonight, and Pat the bass player. What's your last name, Pat?
Usually top secret, but it's Martin.
You don't have to say.
The most basic.
We're just going to call him Pat tonight. So, guys, thanks for joining us. We had some technical issues earlier. We're going to run this live, and for whatever reason, it wouldn't broadcast live. So we're going to record the show tonight, and then we're going to put it out to you ASAP, hopefully tonight or Friday night. But you are going to get this on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and about 50 other platforms out there around the world. So we're in 105 countries, guys. So you're going to be seen by somebody as soon as we get this out. So we're going to start off with some music. We got Krapf as started around 2020. I got their bio up, and they're a progressive rock metal band based in Baltimore, Maryland. And the project's headed to multi-instrument. They're a power trio, by the way, kind of like Rush. And their first work was Seasick. And tell me about Seasick a little bit. Back in 2020, I'm guessing. How did that come about? And was Pat with you, Isaac, at the time?
Sure. Yep. So, as you stated, Seasick was released in 2020, and I knew Pat at the time, and from a cover band that we played in, but we were not together on the original project. So, Krapf started as a solo venture with just me, and on that record, Seasick, my little badge of honor thing, the vocals, the drums, the bass and guitars were all written and tracked by me on that album.
Okay, nice. Was Pat with you then?
So Pat was not on this recording.
Okay.
But the after this record was when I kind of realized that my bass playing and drum playing was limited, and I needed to bring in some actual players.
Right.
And he got it. And he got involved in the next album and recorded all the bass on that one.
Did he come in when you did Hollow or one of those?
Yep.
That was in 2022, right?
Yep, you got it. So the Hollow in 2021, Pat got involved, and then my good friend Delroy got involved on the drums for that project.
Yeah, sounds good. Do you play? Do you have a home studio? Do you play most of the instruments, Isaac?
Yep. So I have just a very small home studio setup that I usually track the demos of the projects for, and then we do go to a more legit pro studio to do the actual sessions. Because
I have a setup here. I use Pro Tools. I do some self recordings here.
Awesome.
My little DAW, my little Pro Tools. I play 12 string. I play all the instruments. But
nice.
I know what you're saying when you want to go, I play okay, on some instruments, but when I want to bring in the real guitar player, for instance, I'll call up my buddy. I'll call Timmy Gaines from Stryper. I'll say, Tim, I need some bass lines, man, on this recording or whatever. I'll call Tommy Lee from Motley Crue. I need some drums, Tom.
Yeah,
And me
it
and
means
Tom went to
something.
school together. That's another story, but I'll get into that later.
Oh,
But
cool.
I'm going to jump over to Pat because I'm going to finish with you on how the band got started and all that. But I'm going to get over to Pat real quick since he's hanging out, and I just want to get a little rundown on his background, when he got started playing the bass guitar, and does he play other instruments. So Pat, tell me a little bit about your music career. When did you get started playing the bass?
Yeah, so picked up my first guitar around age 13, started playing bass around 18, joined a band pretty much a week or two after that, and been playing ever since. So
That's pretty short and sweet.
yeah,
Did
I've
you
been
play when you were really young? I mean, were your parents like really supportive of your music career?
no, I'm the only musician in the family. My great grandfather played. I have an old banjo ukulele, a Gibson from him.
Nice. I'd like to see that. Is it an antique or is it something?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, wow.
Yep, it's a 1920 banjo.
Holy smokes. I see you still got the tag in there. It's probably worth some money, I'm guessing.
Yeah, actually, that was a song list of his. It had his handwriting
Oh,
and the chord
wow.
progressions on there, so I kept it.
Isn't that cool how our parents, like my mom was a singer and she has like note charts. She has staff charts in her piano bench, and she wrote everything by hand in pencil. Is that kind of what you're saying? He did a
Yeah,
little bit of charting himself.
yep, same deal. So I thought it was so cool. I just kept it.
That is really cool, and that's a nice thing to keep. Definitely, I'd have it hanging on my wall all the time, right there. I got all my
Yeah.
guitars lined up. But but so when you first started playing music, was it just bass guitar? Did you play piano? I mean, what other instruments do you play?
So I started with electric guitar
Oh,
at 13, picked up acoustic for a little bit, didn't really take it too seriously. And then I was friends with a couple guys in the band. They needed a bass player. So I picked up bass, started taking some lessons, got a minor in college in music, and
nice, nice.
ever since. So,
And where did you go to school?
uh, so here in Maryland, the
Okay,
University of Maryland. Yeah.
so
So
you're a college guy. So
yeah.
did you actually get a degree? Go all the way?
Yeah, it was a minor. I
Yeah.
majored in IT, but yeah, minor in
And
music.
you're an IT guy. I'm an IT guy. You're technically advanced, and you probably now. Do you help out with the recordings and some of the website and all the marketing with all the social
Um,
media stuff?
no, I actually Isaac does a great job at all that stuff. So
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and my fees are too high for him anyway.
And I'm sure you've told him that many times.
He knows.
That's funny. Isaac, tell me about this band. Go back to the very beginning when you decided to call it. Now, has it always been Kraft, or was it Isaac Krapf? I mean, give me like the history of the band and its birth.
Yep, you got some foresight or something.
What's happening?
It originally was called Isaac Krapf as the solo venture, but then
Okay.
I shifted it to Kraft because it sounds more band-like,
Okay.
because I wanted it to still, recognize that I guess, and not like a prideful way whatsoever, that I'm kind of like the main like songwriter and hold most of the like creative vision for the band. However, um, having people like Pat and Delroy and other live musicians that have been involved have helped shape the sound to have it evolve over the past few years beyond what I'm capable of.
Gotcha. It's the music is very melodic. What would you say you sound like, or do you have any like bands that you followed growing up? What would you say you sound like, or do you sound like
So
anybody?
I've been told we have uh influencer. We kind of sound like a porcupine tree, and Devin Townsend, the prog artist.
Okay,
And yeah, I would say primarily those two. Um, I really gravitate toward the sound of clean melodic guitars over
okay,
top
gotcha.
with heavy like distorted bottom end guitars underneath. I think they complement each other pretty well because you have
Right,
that balance of clean and harshness.
very cool. And I love the music. I've got your website up, and I see some videos on the actual website. And I didn't know if I should play those or go to your YouTube page. But you have the Hollow. It's a teaser. And then there's another one called we got the Adrift teaser.
Yep, I think I might got four teasers on the website, and if you wanted to hit any of those, they're short, sweets, and give like little glimpses into what the style is and kind of what the music sounds like.
Yeah, let me check one out real quick. Let's see here. Let's see if it'll let me go. It takes me right into YouTube. Okay, cool. So people just kind of get an idea, the kind of music you're playing and what you look like on stage.
Yeah.
You got a drummer. Is your drummer? Is that your drummer you have with you now on that? I'm playing the. Well, hold on. Let me just play it, and you can tell me when it's done.
Sure.
Let's do that. And I'm going to just share I'm going to share. We're going to play a little bit of music for the audience out there. And I'm just going to share your web page for a minute here. Hold on one second. All right, there we go. Okay.
Great.
Play it. Here we go.
So that was a single that we released in 2022 called Adrift. And the song opens up with that melodic segment of the flashy guitar with the bass and drums kind of like crescendoing while you have the oohs and the ahs in the background.
Right. Is there a full-length video up on YouTube we can go ahead and play? I know we talked about it earlier.
For that song, probably not.
Not for that song, just one that you would like to play for the audience.
Sure. I got a full-length lyric video of our latest single titled May, which came out last month.
Okay, let's get into that, and we'll talk about the new song as well.
Great. Sure. So May is the first single off of what's going to be our self-titled album that is set to release in 2026. It has been, I guess, a more like evolved sound for us. The guitars and the vocals get a bit heavier, so there's still that melodic sense from previous records, but we're really pushing the envelope with this one. And for this single and for the entire album that's going to be coming out, we got to work with an awesome session drummer named Ryan Van Poederoin, who was a touring drummer for years. And to have his like insight and his style on the record definitely pushed and evolved our sound as well. So I'm very proud of it.
Nice. Well, let's play the song for the audience. I got it queued up here on YouTube. And let's sit back. Your mics are live, guys, so everything you say will be heard. And we're going to go ahead and play it for the audience right now. Here we go.
You'll
great song, man. What a great song. That drummer's kicking ass back there, man. That guy's tearing it up.
Yeah, he's killer. He definitely pushed the music into a place that it hasn't been yet. So
Was that the lineup now? So let's get back into the past year. It says you opened up for Blackstone Cherry, Paul Reed's Smith Band, Eight Lock, and Wednesday 13. And the latest single May came out, or is released in. It says released in November. Is that this last November?
yeah, this November, about a month ago.
Oh, not too long ago. So it was a self-titled record, 2026. Now, is that a single or is that going to be on the album?
So it's going to be on the album, but it's going to be one of three songs that we'll release prior to releasing um, the record. And the record's going to have 10 songs, so you're going to get to hear three of them.
Okay, kind of like an EP, an extended EP.
Yeah.
Well, back in the day when I was I was a musician back in the '80s, and we'd record singles. Yeah, I'm an old hair band. I was the lead singer for Danger, if you remember Danger.
Oh,
and yeah, and then we played with Van Halen. We played with a lot of bands. And my first single was in 1979, and my good friend Tommy Lee, we went to school together, me and Tom Bass, and so I was actually playing Hollywood before he was, and then
wow.
he came out. Yeah, so I've had a long history with legendary rockers, man. You know, Sammy Hagar. When I played Cabo Wabo, San Lucas, and all that shit. So I've been playing music a long time. I've got singles and EPs and all that. But I know out now today we kind of just record one song at a time. It's kind of like a buffet or a la carte, if you will, and they can just pick one song, buy it, listen to it. And back in the '80s, man, you recorded 12 songs. You had a full length album, and even though they just like one song, I bought the whole album, right, for like $12.99 or $15 at Tower Records. I'm probably dating myself right now, um, but today's much different. So you do one song, two songs, put it on EP, put it up on Spotify, whatever. How is the song doing for you so far, or the previous songs? I see Seasick back in 2020. And you had Hollow in 2022. How are those songs doing for you now?
They're doing well once they get exposed to audiences. So
Right.
whenever we are able to do a live show, meet some new people, we typically bond and resonate with listeners fairly quickly. I think
Right.
the challenges of local bands and unknown artists essentially is navigating a lot of the white noise, because creating music is so accessible now, which is great, but it
Right.
also means it's so competitive with all these bands, trying to do what bands have been doing forever,
Yeah.
trying to make it. So it's what, as you're navigating like the sea of like noise, it's yeah, it's great once you make connections with people and able to jump on podcasts and interviews and stuff, and hopefully make those connections. But yeah.
No, I know what you're saying. It's just more fluent today. Everything is more dynamic, more fluent. So when we do something, it's out immediately, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of neat. It's in a way, but everyone's doing it. I mean, we got millions and millions of musicians that are putting new music out. I can't remember the stats, but it's like every second somebody's writing a brand new song and putting it out there. So where it's a bit saturated, if you will, in the music business today, not like it was back in the '80s, but it was harder to make it back then too. So, you had to do all kinds of jump through so many hoops, and you didn't have the internet. And I'm dating myself back in the '80s, but we didn't have the internet. And you had to do showcases. You had to invite A&R reps from Capitol Records, to a studio, and you did like a showcase. You had to go rent a light show. It was just nuts, man, what we had to do, to try to get a record deal. And if you didn't have any money or an MTV video out or VH1, and you didn't have a lot of money, it was very difficult to make it back then. And that's why I really admire bands like Van Halen, who just knocked the roofs down, man. There was so many people going to see them play. The record companies had to sign them.
Gotcha.
And that's a hard way to make it, man. But that's how the bands made it back then. The Beatles, right? When they came out, it was like, the Ed Sullivan Show. I mean, you were on national TV. That's how you made it. But today, we get to just put our stuff out like right now. And it's good and it's bad. There's two sides to it, right? And
Right.
now you guys signed with Curtain Call Records. Is that
Yep.
right? Curtain Call?
Yep. So we're working with them right now for the new album and whatnot.
Okay.
And they've been they've basically been doing PR and AR for us
Okay.
at the
Okay.
moment.
But there's no limitations as far as your recording. You guys can do whatever you want as far as recordings go.
Yeah. So as
Okay.
far as we're recordings, we're in complete control. So we're working with them and um, hopefully getting some more industry connections from them. And if we do well, then it looks good for them as well. So
I got you. Yeah, I tracked down that video you were talking about earlier, 16 by 9. This video, preface, it's only a minute and 50 seconds, I think. But
yep.
Preface this for me. What are we about to watch?
So in this compilation, you're basically getting a quick exposure of the band and the sound.
Okay.
So I know a lot of what social media is now is most people won't watch anything for more than 30 seconds.
Right.
Me trying to throw my audition tape at people to be like, hey, let me try to catch your attention. And if you like what you hear, maybe you'll do a deeper dive into what we have. So you're going to hear 4 of our songs and about like 30-second renditions of each one. And if anything spikes your interest, then check out more.
Did you also put this out as a short as well? I see you got a lot of shorts.
Yeah, so they were chopped up in shorts.
Gotcha. Okay, so this is a little quickie of a few songs, and we'll go ahead and play this for the audience. They get a little bit of an idea of what's going on. Let me share this real quick. Awesome, man. So tell me, did you actually play those songs like a collage? You guys actually rehearsed that where you cut a song and then start the next song, or was that edited? That was done live?
Yep. So that so it was to a backing track. um, but yes, we mimed essentially to.
Okay, because it was so perfect. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, the vocals sound great. It looked like you were kind of like playing it live. Like you guys just stopped and started and went into the next song.
Yeah. We are tight live though. So it's not.
I can tell. I can tell.
Yeah.
And that drummer is just amazing. Is he with you now? That same drummer?
Yeah. So basically, when we go to do a live show, I basically have 2 drummers that I will alternate between depending on availability. But
Okay.
primarily for the majority of the Krapf project, the guy who's in that video, his name is Delroy, has done most of our live shows.
Gotcha. Delroy Gaither.
Yep.
Gaither. He's a tight drummer, man. I hope he's watching. Well, I hope he watches the show.
I'll send it to him.
Well, he'll be able to see it on YouTube tomorrow night. This will be out. If not tonight, it'll be out tomorrow for sure. It'll
Great.
be on YouTube, the recorded version, and it's in. Of course, I'm going to play all your music. I'm going to talk a little bit about The Hollow. It's on my list of songs to play. And is there a video you'd like to play, or would you like me to just play the song and then we can talk a little bit about the song?
You can play the song and we can talk a little bit about it.
Okay, I got it queued up. We're just going to listen to it, and then we'll get some comments on it. I haven't listened to that one in its entirety yet, so let's play it for the audience. And this song is "Hollow" by Krapf. Okay. Tell me a little bit about that song, Hollow. When you wrote it, what was it actually about, Isaac?
Hey, so I guess in a broad sense, the hollow is kind of just like navigating the unknowns in life,
Okay.
whatever that may be or resonate with the listener, and arriving to either fulfillment or solutions on the other end of it in a broad sense.
So tell me a little bit about your early days in music, coming out of high school. Your parents, were they supportive? And were you like a band geek, kind of like I was in high school? And all the instruments that you play. So kind of just run me through right up until the point you started craft.
Right. Yep. So I was a bit of a late bloomer when it came to music. Nobody in my family really played or had a musician's background or anything. So essentially, right as I was graduating high school was when I picked up a guitar for the first time and was very inspired by it because I guess it hit me with like a hey, post school, what do you do now type moment.
Right, right.
A little bit of disillusionment, or I'm sure everybody experiences that of like, okay, what's next because you've had routine for so long. And I guess you could say, fell in love with wanting to play music and learn music. So guitar was the first instrument that I picked up, but very quickly after that, I switched over to bass.
Mm,
Not that both can't be insanely technical and proficient in
right.
either of them, but I felt a bit more encouraged that I was able to play things quicker on the bass guitar because the what I was trying to play at the time there was less going on. And then I
Right.
ended up jumping back to guitar down the road where I met Pat in one of the first cover bands that I joined, and from there my connection and my relationship developed with him, and I started Krapf um, in 2020 and released our first record, Seasick.
Wow, you got quite the talent. You jump over to bass. You're quite the guitar player, by the way. Any formal training in the guitar world? I mean, did you just pick it up and watch a lot of YouTube videos? How did you get going?
Yep. So because I was a little late to the curve, I didn't get started at like the age of 10 or 11
Yeah,
and
yeah,
all
yeah.
that time in development. So I was trying to play catch up. So I started taking lessons immediately. And it was, encouraging, but also discouraging because you can make leaps very quickly. But then
Yeah.
also, the teacher that I had was also pretty like strict because he's like, you got a lot of catching up to do. If you want to be serious about this, you got to get going. So yeah, I
Yeah.
100% took lessons.
I've interviewed a lot of guitar players. There's a couple speed demons I've interviewed. David Schenkel, he's like one of the fastest guitar players in the world, or some shit. And I
Wow.
interviewed him, and I started asking him like, "What are you playing, man? You're going so fast. I just don't understand it." But he started doing it like chromatic riffs and diatonic and all these crazy riffs, scales that he was talking about, right? And I mean, do you go that far on the technical side of guitar, where you spend a lot of time learning these complicated scales or riffs, this and that, and do you fit them into your songwriting as well, or do you just kind of like go by feel and just play whatever comes to mind?
I would say it's kind of a combination. I'm definitely not like a virtuoso or anything,
Right.
but I understand the concept of theory and keys and coming in and out of them and what notes work well in certain scenarios. And I became a fan of alternate tunings. So doing
Yeah.
the typical standard tuning for guitar, but especially on the Craft project, the distorted guitars are typically always tuned in an alternate um, tuning to give different like interval layers
So
that
like you'll drop the E down to a D or something like that, or drop the E down,
yeah, yes, sort of,
half step, and
yeah, the to get technical or however you want to put it,
Yeah.
the main guitar tuning for a lot of the distorted guitars for the project is a B flat major triad. So across the neck it goes B flat F, B flat F, B flat D, and that's kind of makes up the bass. It allows a lot of like fifth and octave work underneath, and then the clean guitar remains in standard over top. So it creates an interesting harmonization of the.
Yeah, that's interesting. You're covering a lot of ground, sounds like. You're actually playing the bass and guitar at the same time, it sounds like, where you're covering a wide scale, right? I mean, I know you have Pat over there playing bass, but you're, for being the only guitar player in the band, you're covering a lot of ground. And based on what you just told me, you're thinking of both sides. You're thinking the rhythm, the lead, and the bass lines in the guitar.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure they mix with Pat's bass playing as well. And kind of like Rush, you know, when you look at Geddy Lee and those guys, and he's just covering a lot of ground as a guitar player, right? You know, I mean, and then the keyboards. Now, do you have any keyboards? I thought I heard some organ in there earlier in one of the songs.
So it's mostly just color that's added into live performances and on the records.
Okay.
We don't play with a live keyboardist, but for the most part, our live show is probably 90% live and then 10% color in the background.
Okay, I got you. But again, you're covered. Yeah, like a pedal board, or are you doing Are you doing other instruments on a pedal board, kind of like what Rush used to do, or are you making up for it just on the guitar?
So primarily, most of it is done on the guitar. The tuning allows, like I said, or how you put it, a strong combination of like rhythm and lead work.
Yeah.
And I use like octave pedals and stuff to just enhance the tone more.
Gotcha. No, that makes sense. And let's get into your singing. Now, you're a great singer. Your tone is perfect.
Thanks.
You got a very unique voice. And into the heavy metal side, you know, with the growl and the screaming. I mean, it just really blends. And then you come out of that and you break into a melody. You kind of are doing both, right? You're not just screaming. You're not just going, thank God, because you break in, you're breaking into some melody, which is nice. And I've interviewed bands where I'm like, I didn't understand a word the guy said the entire night.
Sure.
And I was like, have you had any formal training? I was just kind of joking around. And he goes, well, what do you mean?
Funny.
And he's literally going, the whole night. And I'm going, wow. I go, so what are you saying right there? And I was kind of putting my foot in my mouth because I was trying to be nice about it. But I'm like, man, I can't understand anything you're saying, bro. And I understand that's a whole different genre. And then there's a lot of young kids that are into it. And the screamo type stuff, right?
Yeah. The hardcore bands.
The hardcore, they're in the front row and they're just banging their heads and their foreheads all bloody and they're just, jamming. But, I'm a musician. I'm a songwriter myself. I've written a lot of songs. I'm probably more on the rock and roll 80s kind of rock side, pop ballads, things like that, like Warrant, Poison, Motley Crue type. That'd probably be too heavy for me as a writer. But I write piano. I play piano. That's my first instrument. Awesome. So I do a lot of piano ballads. And in fact, I've just got hired by a record company to do a piano track on one of their songs. And I'm actually going to do the vocals on that song as well. And so awesome. I'm bringing their guitar player over and that's a whole nother thing. So I do a little bit of session work on the side. Because I play bass, but I won't play bass for anybody else but myself. I play acoustic guitar. I have a 12-string Ovation hanging up on my wall, and I've got an Ibanez I play for the electric stuff. And nothing fancy like what you're doing. No way. I would call you if I need that done on my album. I would say, Isaac, I need you to come do some, I'll send you some tracks. Can I have some lead work done? I know my limits. You know what I'm saying? Like as a songwriter, I know my limits.
Right.
I'm like, Dean, don't go there. Because if I got to go there, it's like, no, it's not going to work. So I understand a lot about songwriting and dynamics and melody and arrangements. And I hear all those components in your songs. Very, very intelligent songwriting, by the way. I mean, when I break it down, and that goes for you too, Pat. And the drummer, he's just amazing. And you call yourself progressive rock metal, and that's where that progressive. I mean, it just gets tricky, but I like it. I like it. I used to like Dixie Dregs and some of the progressive stuff. Of course, I loved Rush back in the day, and of
Yeah.
course, for them to get noticed, they had to come out with Tom Sawyer and just do some real commercial, basic stuff. But Rush had 10 albums out before anybody knew who they were,
Right.
and the reason is because they were so complex, right?
Right.
Their songs were so nobody understood them, right? They're like, what the hell are they playing? But they were amazing. If you go back to the early Rush days,
Right.
listen to it. But that being said, you're kind of similar in a sense, but you still have the melody. You still carry the vocal melody, which makes that song commercial,
Right.
and can put that song on a radio, any top 10, any pop or even rock radio, because you cover a lot of ground. I see your age range going all the way from young teens into the 50s and 60s.
I
You know,
appreciate it.
in the radio stations as well. The genre spreads out very, very nicely from progressive rock to melody into heavy and almost a thrash type of metal, right?
Yeah.
You're going there, but you're not staying there.
Yeah. We're trying to hit a little bit of everything. Get a little taste here, a little taste there.
Does that make sense? You're going there, but you're not staying there. Kind of, it's
Yeah.
like, and some guys will wear it out. They'll just wear it out. You don't do that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you. My favorite kind of music and what I gravitate towards is I like the clean, I like the pretty, the melodies, and then I like when it goes heavy, but I like when it comes back because otherwise I have to kind of like detox from it.
It shows in your songwriting. It's what I call intelligent songwriting because you're thinking of all the components. You're not just doing one basic 3-chord structure and you're just driving it through the wall. You're actually backing up a little bit and you're throwing some melody in there and you're throwing some things that are commercial, and that's what's going to make those songs sell, depending on which direction you want to go with your music, right? If you want to go thrash, you can go that direction. If you want to mainstream, which is that song we just played, I think when I played I think it was Hollow, right, for the commercial, I found that to be a little bit more rock mainstream.
Appreciate it.
It wasn't going over the edge or anything. And then that's another great song. So I think you have a long career ahead of you, and I can't wait to get on this and get this out, and polish it up a little bit. And I got to meet both of you guys, and the drummer Delroy. I wish he could have been here tonight. Maybe he can listen to it. Maybe we can get him on later. Is he with you full time now in the band, Delroy?
Yep. So he's one of my good friends, and he's definitely involved in a lot of the live stuff.
Okay, he's a hell of a drummer. How did you find Delroy, by the way?
Local Baltimore cover gig scene.
Yeah. Okay.
Cover gigs.
What cover band were you in? You talked a little bit about it.
So the cover band that I met Pat in was called Rooftop Radio at the time. So
Rooftop
basically,
Radio. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a different name. So Pat, you found Pat in the cover band?
Yes, where he found me, or vice versa.
Okay. Well, how'd that work out, Pat? Are you pretty happy with playing with Isaac and all that?
Yeah. It was a funny start because he was kind of like forced into the band by the singer. We were like a power trio, and he was like, "Yeah, I got this guitar player. I really wanted to play with us." And I was like, "I don't know about this guy."
Yeah.
So then after meeting him and talking to him, I was like, "Okay, yeah, he's solid." And he introduced me to what he was doing with the original stuff, and that's what I've always gravitated towards is Isaac's style of music. So I was more on board.
Yeah. And you're also a progressive. That's your nature too, in music, playing the bass. Okay. Yeah. And what kind of bass do you play? I have a lot of musicians that listen to the show, and I see you got some bass guitars behind you there. Is there a favorite bass you like to play on stage? And what kind of bass is it?
Yeah, so I still play in a cover band pretty actively. I play a Fender Jazz bass. It's a 4-string.
Nice. Little P bass?
Yeah, J bass, yeah. And
then
with the Krapf project, I play an Ibanez 5-string.
Nice.
Yeah, so.
I love Ibanez, man.
Yeah, they're great.
Action, they're so easy to play.
Yeah.
And a 5-string, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of needed for what Isaac demands. So.
What he demands, I can imagine.
Don't let his calm demeanor fool you. He can get quite bossy sometimes.
I can tell. I can read between the lines. I can see it. But when you have that much talent, sometimes you gotta let it be known. You can't be silent. When you're in when you're on stage or you're in the studio, you've got to speak up, or it's never going to get put down on recordings, and you're never going to get it the way you want it. You know what I'm saying? And I've been in the studio most of my life. I've been in over 100 different recording studios. I've done tons. In fact, I've done more recordings than I've done live shows, it seems. And I've done thousands of live shows. But I mostly played guitar, 12-string acoustic on stage, keyboards always. I had an old, God, I'm going back, Farfisa. I had an old Farfisa organ, and I have an O&W Korg FD, which is what Phil Collins plays for a lot of his stuff. And then I have a Clavinova 66 weighted key piano that's running through a Roland SC55 canvas. So that's I have 200 piano sounds that I get, these like grand piano. I can get a Rhodes piano. I can get all the bitchin' piano sounds, man. But piano is my main instrument. Guitar is my second. I use it for songwriting, and singing is my number one, actually. And I'm a songwriter. So I have to play those instruments to get a feel for how do I want the song to go. And then I turn it over to the real bass player or the real guitar player. And I say, take this and run with it and do whatever you want. You got the freedom to just take it over. And I've been very lucky with great musicians like you guys. So I want to thank you guys for coming on the show tonight. I know it's late out there. It's about 7:16 here. What's probably 10:16?
Yeah, low past 10.
Guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I'm sorry we had technical issues tonight. I'm going to dress this up and put a dress on it and send it back out to like YouTube and everywhere. This podcast will be out in 105 countries. It'll be on iHeartRadio. You'll be on Pandora. Of course, all the general Facebook, God, it goes out to all these overseas sites I don't even recognize. They're in Japanese. And there's about 50 different podcasts. The podcast world is blown up. And in the music podcast world, there's a lot of crime drama, things like that. But I'm really trying to become one of the podcasters that introduces new music to the world, because I interview bands from around the world, all over, Finland, Brazil, Bangladesh, India, Germany. I mean, I've had bands from everywhere. In fact, I couldn't even talk to some of them because there was a language barrier. I told Brian, I said, Brian, please send me bands that speak English, bro.
Yeah, 105 episodes worth. But no, it's really cool to do that, because there's definitely a need for it, to have like platforms that give voice to more unknown artists. So once again, I really appreciate your time.
And thank you for coming on the show, guys. You've been great. And I'll tell you what, I'd like to have you back on the show for a real live one when you guys have time. So when you get some more songs done up, I'm going to leave the door open for you guys to come back. Okay. Awesome. And I'll let Brian know that you guys have a open door as soon as you guys are ready to come back on the show. Great. Maybe you'll get Delroy to join us too.
Yeah, why not? Absolutely.
Okay, guys, and thank you for doing the show tonight. And of course, there's usually an outro, and there's going to be when I edit this show. So thanks for doing the show tonight, and good night.
Yep, good night. Thank you.